Gather round, mortals, because today we're diving into the 10 strongest villains to ever terrorize the Power Rangers. These are the bad guys who didn't just monologue about conquering the world. They actually had the power to do it. From galaxy-crushing emperors to monsters who made the Rangers question their life choices, these villains didn't just bring trouble. They brought season finales with them. So, grab your morpher, because we're ranking the most overpowered threats to ever make the Power Rangers rethink their career choices. 10. Lord Zedd. Lord Zedd is one of the most iconic and popular Power Rangers, but he wasn't always one of the strongest villains. Although he and his wife, Rita Repulsa, successfully defeat the mighty Morphin Power Rangers, destroying their powers and the command center, the Emperor of Evil doesn't ride this high into highly praised Power Rangers Zeo. When King Mondo and the Machine Empire arrive on Earth with the intent of conquering it for themselves, Lord Zedd flees the planet, fearing the more imposing villains. The villain makes an incredible comeback during the final 3 seasons of the series. Lord Zedd returns in Power Rangers Dino Fury, and at long last, lives up to the hype built around him. He finally feels like an equal to Zordon in power, as he was long ago implied to be, becoming a threat not only to the Rangers but the Morphin Masters. Upon ascending to become the primary villain of the Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, Zedd gets closer to conquering the entire universe than any villain before him. 9. Master Xandred. Samurai. While his ability to pose a threat on Earth is initially limited both by his illness and by the speed at which he dehydrates when outside the Netherworld, the Samurai Rangers wouldn't have ever stood a chance against him without these limitations buying them time before their eventual fight. When Master Xandred does manage to find a way to survive on Earth, he defeats them all without any effort. Master Xandred has been a threat for generations and has only ever been stopped by Red Samurai Rangers using the sealing symbol to seal him away in the Netherworld, since destroying him was believed to be impossible. After absorbing Dayu, Master Xandred becomes immune to the sealing symbol, making all seem lost. The modern-day Samurai Rangers do eventually defeat him, but only because absorbing Dayu leaves him with a single weak point, and even then, striking it requires the sacrifice of nearly every Samurai Zord. 8. Sledge. 2015's memorable Power Rangers Dino Charge series introduced audiences to the ominous, intimidating force of nature known as Sledge. A heavily armored alien bounty hunter with his sights set on any amount of power he could amass, Sledge was willing to do anything he could to acquire the power of the fabled Energems. This brought him into conflict with the Dino Charge Rangers, while his continued efforts to stand above all others would do the same time and time again going forward. Seemingly destroyed at the end of the series, Sledge would return in secret its immediate follow-up, Power Rangers Dino Supercharge. Once again, Sledge would ultimately be defeated, and once again the Power Rangers would assume that the threat he posed had been brought to an end. Yet not even being lost to a literal wormhole could keep the villain from making not just one, but 2 subsequent comebacks. It wasn't any team of Power Rangers who proved to be Sledge's ultimate undoing. Rather, it was the impossibly powerful Golder Maximus who struck Sledge down for the final time under the order of Evox during the Power Rangers Beast Morphers episode, Making Bad. 7. Divatox. Divatox, aka the intergalactic pirate queen of evil and the toxic diva, is quite possibly the single most self-obsessed foe that the Power Rangers have ever faced. However, Divatox did have good reason to have such a high opinion of herself, especially after everything she accomplished in the face of overwhelming odds. The leader of a band of deadly interstellar pirates, Divatox was orphaned at a young age only to be adopted by similarly cutthroat villains and suffer a series of disastrous engagements before finding any sort of success. Throughout Power Rangers Turbo, Divatox went to every length she could to destroy the series' eponymous team. There is always some chance that her antagonistic relationship with the Rangers could have been less drawn out if the events surrounding her debut in Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, had gone differently. But until that possibility is explored elsewhere, fans will only ever know Divatox as the Power Rangers' greatest celebrity villain. 6. Dai Shi. Dai Shi spends the majority of Power Rangers Jungle Fury limited by Jared, the human that his spirit resides inside. Using only a taste of Dai Shi's power, Jared is still able to overwhelm the Jungle Fury Rangers in nearly all of their encounters and increases his strength over time by training under the Overlords and the Phantom Beast Generals. When Dai Shi is freed from Jared at the end of the season, he shows just how much Jared is holding him back. An ancient dragon, Dai Shi is one of the largest villains in the series. He can shoot lightning breath and energy blasts from his mouth, and is immune to attacks from the Rangers' Megazords, which had previously defeated his strongest servants. Dai Shi would have been impossible for the Jungle Fury Rangers to defeat were it not for Xandred betraying him, and using their connection to launch an attack that weakens him. 5. Queen Bansheera. Queen Bansheera is built up as a threat throughout all of Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. The most powerful of all demons, she outshines even her most capable subordinates, Diabolico and Olympus, in strength. The Lightspeed Rangers make it a priority to stop her return, and when she successfully creates a new body for herself by absorbing Vipra, it feels like the end of the world. In her final form, Queen Bansheera fights with an abundance of different magical attacks. Except for a single weak point, she's physically invincible and cannot be destroyed by the Lightspeed Rangers, instead needing to be sealed away once more. Queen Bansheera's most dangerous ability is her power to transform any of her servants into super demons, each of whom poses a massive threat to the Lightspeed Rangers. 4. Master Org. The Master Org present throughout most of Power Rangers Wild Force is not the true Master Org. The original Master Org led his armies in a battle against the 6 ancient warriors 3,000 years before the events of the season, wishing to spread pollution across the entire world. This Master Org was only stopped by Merrick's use of the Cursed Wolf Mask, giving him the power to defeat him. The Master Org who primarily fights the Wild Force Rangers is Dr. Victor Adler, a vengeful human who consumed the true Master Org's essence while on an expedition. But while he's strong, he doesn't compare at all to his predecessor. The return of the Orgs in the 21st century has brought about mankind's pollution of the Earth, which makes them stronger than ever. When the real Master Org resurfaces following Dr. Adler's defeat, he too benefits from this boost. Master Org destroys every single Wild Zord, as well as Animus, the god of the Wild Zords, while at the same time healing from every attack it takes thanks to the power of the Org heart. 3. Dark Specter. Dark Specter is the most important villain to never actually fight the Power Rangers. As the leader of the United Alliance of Evil, Dark Specter is the overarching villain of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Zeo, Power Rangers Turbo, and Power Rangers in Space. Rita Repulsa, Lord Zedd, King Mondo, Divatox, Astronema, and Darkonda all answer to and fear the Grand Monarch of Evil. Sadly, Dark Specter's full power is never shown. After Astronema betrays Dark Specter, she drains his power to fuel the Psycho Rangers. Even weakened, he never gets a chance to fight as, during his attempted conquest of the universe, he's killed by a traitorous Darkonda. To his credit, Dark Specter is still able to kill Darkonda before he dies, and the weapon used by Darkonda was designed to destroy planets. 2. Octomus. With the Mystic Force Rangers being one of the most powerful teams in the Power Rangers franchise, it only makes sense that Octomus, the Master, is one of its most horrifying villains. Octomus is an elder being of pure darkness who seeks to eliminate all good magic in existence, and he has the power to pull this off. He can absorb all magical attacks, corrupt hearts, possess others, resurrect any of his followers, and destroy enemies as powerful as the ancient mystics with a wide arsenal of attacks. In the great battle before the start of the series, Lin Bao and the other ancient mystics weren't able to destroy Octomus, only sealing him away. Even this wasn't a total victory, as doing this required Lin Bao to sacrifice himself, leading him to be transformed into Korag. Morticon, Imperius, and the 10 Terrors possess some of the strongest dark magic in the world, but as Octomus' servants, their power pales in comparison to his. 1. Emperor Mavro. Working from behind the scenes, Emperor Mavro was the true big bad at the heart of Power Rangers Megaforce. While his son Vrak joined the forces of the Warstar led by Admiral Mocker in their invasion of Earth, Emperor Mavro watched on from afar. Unfortunately for Mavro, he would lose not just one, but both of his sons to their war against the Power Rangers. And unfortunately for the Power Rangers, this was precisely what it took to bring the Emperor out onto the battlefield for himself. Despite only ever appearing in a total of 4 episodes of Power Rangers Super Megaforce, Emperor Mavro left behind an impression that can only be described as unforgettable. A near unstoppable, overpowered, and overly confident villain, Emperor Mavro was only defeated because of the latter of those 3 attributes. Even then, it took all but 3 teams of Power Rangers who existed at the time of the legendary battle to defeat Emperor Mavro. What's more, this was only after spending an entire 2 episodes of the heroes laying into the threat with everything they had to offer. And that, my friends, was a roller coaster of villainy. From planet-destroying warlords to nightmare-fuel monsters, these guys made it very clear that spandex alone won't save you. But tell me, did I miss a villain who deserves a spot? Or do you think one of these evil masterminds was just a glorified punching bag? Let me know in the comments. And before you teleport out of here, smash that like button like a Megazord landing a final blow, subscribe faster than a Ranger morphs in a crisis, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another epic ranking. Alright, I'm off before one of these villains shows up looking for revenge. SEYA.